What's happening? Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Rachel Zegler and Disney gets a brutal reality check over Snow White disaster. We're going to go ahead and definitely get right back into this. Welcome back to the channel. So Rachel Zegler, Disney film Snow White is shaping to be a major Disney disaster. Much worse than expected. Okay, now we've always been a fan of the true classics, you know, Snow White, Cinderella, and so on and so forth. All those Disney films, animated films that were part of our childhood. But man, what's actually happened with this new Snow White adaptation starring Rachel Zegler? Okay, so basically, I mean, word on the street is that Disney's latest project, Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler, is actually isn't exactly flying, you know, people into the theaters to go ahead and get tickets sold out and stuff. But projections are out and they're not looking good for Snow White. Now, I'm not in Hollywood insider at all. I'm not pretending to be, but even I can see why. They've taken a beloved tale like Snow White, something that's, you know, been around for decades, and actually decided to go ahead and shake it up and stuff in a way that, quite frankly, just doesn't sit right with a lot of us of every age group, with Rachel Zegler in the lead. Okay, now this isn't anti-Rachel Zegler, but this casting of Rachel Zegler is all because they decided that Snow White is not white anymore. And I'm not just talking about her complexion either. You see, they've actually changed the character's core identity. And Rachel Zegler as Snow White has actually stirred up quite the conversation, you know, over the past few years. Now, I get it. You know, we live in a diverse world. But when you start messing with Snow White's essence, well, quite frankly, you're not celebrating diversity. You see, you're simply just alienating the very audience that made Snow White timeless in the first place, okay? And that's not really saying much itself. Now, don't get me wrong. I love, you know, a good modern twist to these, but this Rachel Zegler's Snow White movie feels like they're trying to teach us a lesson rather than simply just entertain us. You see, y'all remember when movies were just about, you know, having a good time, and now it's like every film and stuff, including Snow White, has to carry some sort of heavy woke political message, and if you don't agree, you're part of the problem. You're every instant phobe in a book. Okay, and quite frankly, that's actually telling. But for the box office itself, I mean, they're actually predicting a pretty dismal opening weekend for Snow White. I mean, let's be real here. Who's actually surprised? When you're Rachel Zegler and you tell people that, you know, you're taking a beloved classic like Snow White and turning it into something that's actually completely different, well, they're going to be cautious. As a matter of fact, they're going to downright just avoid the film. And it's like if someone said they're going to remake The Godfather, but make it about veganism. Okay. But here's the crazy part. You see, Disney's been doing this for a while now, as you all know, especially with Snow White starring Rachel Zegler being the latest example. Now, they use actors like Rachel Zegler to go ahead and keep pushing these woke, nonsensical agendas. And every time they do, the numbers show that people are not biting back. You know, it's not just about this one movie, Snow White. It's a pattern, as you all seen over the years. Y'all remember Mulan and everything. That was another disaster where that movie was accused of, you know, being filmed near in a location of a significant event that happened over in China, and is also heavily associated with the CCP and stuff, allegedly. You see, I think what's really at stake here is simply the magic of storytelling. You see, we all grew up with these tales like Snow White and stuff, and they weren't just stories. They were actually part of our culture and our heritage. Now, when you start changing that with Snow White, well, you're messing with something that's actually bigger than just a movie. You see, you're simply messing with our collective memories, okay? And the memories that we actually cherish the most. And let's not forget this. It's not just about Snow White. It's about the whole entertainment industry just simply moving away from what made it great in the first place. Now, let's be real. The focus used to be on creating compelling stories and compelling narratives with entertainment, memorable characters like Snow White, and above all, fun. Now, it just simply feels like right now we're just simply being preached that with a lot of woke messaging and stuff where we need to be aware of this and that. I mean, can we just simply enjoy a story like Snow White for what it is? I mean, do we really need every film, including Snow White, to be a huge political statement? And having an actor like Rachel Zegler to go ahead and just simply promote it as such. I mean, I'm all for the right progress, but when you actually start rewriting history or classic tales like Snow White to fit today's climate, with woke political ideology, like Rachel Zegler says, I mean, you're not moving forward at all. You're actually rewriting the past itself. So basically, the solution here, I say just stick to the essence of what made these stories great in the first place, including Snow White. And don't get Rachel Zegler to go ahead and promote it with a woke political agenda, and have Rachel Zegler, more importantly, to keep her mouth shut. Innovate where you can, but just like they used to say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay, now there's a way to actually represent modern values with Snow White without having to lose the charm that actually made these tales classics. Prime example: do not lose the part where her and the prince are falling in love with each other. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, let's just simply bring back the joy of storytelling classics like Snow White without any forced woke political agendas. Okay, let's just simply make movies that bring families together for the right reasons. Okay, not just to go ahead and spark some sort of huge debate that's unnecessary. And hey, if Disney wants to go ahead and recover from this whole Snow White debacle starring Rachel Zegler, well, they better start listening to their audience and not just the loudmouths that's everyone on social media, okay? But basically, that's just my 2 cents about this whole matter right here on the whole Snow White and Rachel Zegler situation. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. What do you think in the comments? Are you just as fed up with this as I am? Or do you think I'm just off on the whole thing? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.